What's going on? What's going on? Yours truly, Close Cloud. Follow me at Cloud Hoops Consulting, the Cloud Hoops Consulting too as well, and Cloud9_talk. And we got a different episode today. It's a college basketball episode. College basketball is a month away, and we just want to give you some insights and previews on what's going on in the college basketball landscape. I know it's a lot of movement. You got Oregon and Washington, USC, UCLA. They all in the Big Ten. You got Cal in the ACC, Stanford in the ACC. You got Texas, Oklahoma in the SEC. Hey, it could be a lot going on, man. This combobble, you got BYU in the Big 12 now. They're going to be good this year. So, hey, it's going to be a lot of conference realignment, a lot of geography, back and forth from east to west, Midwest to south to west to north. It's a lot going on. Hey, I'm glad I ain't coaching right now. It'd be hard for me to be getting some sleep trying to get scouts. But, hey, that's why I'm here to cover it. So, hey, we're going to talk about, the top 5 teams in college basketball preseason. So first, my preseason number 1 is Houston. Houston, they're coming back loaded with Miles Uzan, who withdrew his name late in the NBA draft. You got Manuel Sharp, who had a blunder in the last seconds of the national championship game, but still a talented player. You got a couple bigs, Tugler. Then you also got the dynamic freshman, Chris Senac Jr., and the other guy, I can't remember the other freshman's name. Sorry, it's messing my head right now, but they have a real talented class coming in right now. And look out for Kelvin Sampson to raise that banner up in Houston. So I think they're going to be obviously going to be a good, sound defensively team as always. From a bet man, I always bet the under on Houston's games. Always bet the under. But like, it's going to make this team different. I've been in the film work with Miles Uzan. He's one of the best guards in the whole nation. And Sharp's going to be coming back hungry. And then, they got actual bigs. See, Houston usually has smaller bigs that can, switch like that. Like 6'7" Russell, he was kind of a smaller big. But these guys they got coming in, they got some girth and size. And that's going to, change the Big 12 because they've been running the Big 12, they're running the AAC. Now they just trying to win that national championship. So, maybe this be the year after a blunder, the national championship game. Hopefully, Hall of Fame coach Kelvin Sampson, one of the best in the business, to grace the sidelines. And hopefully he gets that done, though. My next team at number 2, I like the Michigan Wolverines. Dusty May, he's been doing his thing, though, in Ann Arbor. And, even though I'm an Ohio guy, I got a lot of respect for Michigan basketball. From Trey Burke to Hardaway, Tim Hardaway Jr., Nicholas Gauskas. They got some big Mitch McGray. They got some dogs, Jarek Walden, Manny Harris, Deshaun Sims. Like I said, I guess how far back I go with Michigan. Michigan basketball, they're going to really, really be a national powerhouse next year. They got Yaxel Winsenberg from UAB. He withdrew his name from the NBA talks as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how he compares with Dusty May. They got Elliot Cadeau from North Carolina. That guy, he's a pass first guard. I think he needed to change the scenery. So let's see how that goes with in Ann Arbor in the Big Ten. Though I think he's going to be pretty good. Hopefully he gets his jump shot right and just making a consistent open jump shot. That's what it is. You got Roddy Gale coming back. You got Andy Mara from UCLA. So they got a lot of bigs on that front line at Michigan. And I think they're gonna be really, really, really good. My third team, Purdue. I got like another Big Ten team. I got Braden Smith, Foul Loster, and they got Trevion Kaufman. He averaged 20. So, they got one of the best duos in college basketball. And they got national championship run experience as well. So that's another thing. They had a great run last year. So I think Purdue, they trying to get that ball rolling. Just like Houston. Lost in the national championship game to UConn. Now they trying to get back to the national championship game this year in Indianapolis. So that they got the big man, Oscar Cluff. Now, he's not like a huge Zach Edney type of guy, but he's a rebounder. Probably a little bit more agile and rebound. Can rebound, offensive rebound his butt off. And that's one thing they needed. They got size and rebounding. Hey, that's how you win championships. Getting size, rebounding, and defending the paint. That's all you got to do. Just defend the paint. So, Purdue, I think Purdue and Michigan, throw Illinois in there in the Big Ten. We're going to do a little Big Ten preview right now. So, like I said, I think Purdue and Michigan, then don't sleep on the Spartans in Illinois. They're going to be pretty good. Then I also want to sleep on the Buckeyes. I'm not saying they're gonna win the Big Ten, but they could be a sleeper team. Though they got a lot of good guard play with John Mobley, Bruce Thornton. So the Big Ten is gonna be very interesting. I got that might be one of the best conferences next year. I know the SEC had got a record 14 teams in the tournament, and then like I said, 14 deserved though. Maybe Texas, maybe they couldn't have made it, but like I said, that was well deserved though. Then my fourth team, getting back to the SEC, is Florida. Todd Golden coming off a national championship. He got to reload a roster with Princeton transfer Xavier Lee, who's been killing it. If you haven't been watching mid-major basketball, you're going to be familiar with Xavier Lee this year in the SEC. He's a bucket getter. He can create off the dribble, pick and roll, shoot threes, pass, anything you want. Xavier Lee can do it. And then you got one of the top freshmen last year, Boogie Flan. He missed a lot of it last year, but came back. He's going to be fully healthy this year. And we're going to see how Boogie Flan is at Mr. Lee. Rush Hour. We might have to call that Rush Hour in Florida, Gainesville. That's going to be a hell of a backcourt right there. Might be the best backcourt in the nation. Who knows? But I like Boogie Flan, New York guard, New York Flash. So they got some East Coast guards down south. So let's see how that trends, though. They try to win, run it back. But they got the bigs, Thomas Hall, Damian Collins. So like I said, them bigs, Will Cadone. Them bigs, ooh. Tommy Hall. A lot of people have been talking about Tommy Hall today in the media. He's been killing it, though. I thought he could have, been a late first round, second round pick. But yeah, he's trying to be lottery this year. So we'll see how he translates after winning a national championship. And then my number 5 team, I'm going with the Big East, the St. John Johnnies. Shout out to Rick Pitino, one of my favorite coaches of all time, a true overachiever. Check his book out too, out of the way. But like what I like about St. John's, they have guards, they got depth at the wing and bigs. They got N. Jackson, Dylan Harper. I mean, not Dylan Harper, Dylan Miller. And he's going to be good. He's going to be really, really good. So we're going to see how that goes with the new transfers. And like I said, as Rick Pitino has been transitioning to Big East, getting better and better. Yeah, so Rick Pitino, he's been getting better with better guards with Jordan Dingle that first year. Then he had Kadari Richmond and Devon Scott. Now he has N. Jackson and some more guards to play with. So then he got Zuby Ejiofor in the middle and Bryce Hopkins. Bryce Hopkins could have been a lottery pick a couple years ago if he kept getting hurt. But now he's playing under Rick Pitino. So like I said, the Big East, it's gonna be some haymakers thrown at the Johnnies though with UConn. I heard Providence, Creighton. They're gonna be good too though. But I like the Johns. I think they had the most talented class as far as transfer portal wise. So let's see how they do. I know Rick Pitino don't like high school guys anymore. Sad to say, but it is what it is. It's a new era in college basketball with all the pros and all that extra stuff that's going on with the overseas guys. And you got G League guys coming from G League to the NCAA ball now. Hey, we'll see how this translates. So, high school guys, put that work in. Don't bullshit around. Next, let's go to top freshmen. Top freshman, everybody knows the Darren Peterson's at Kansas. DP, he's an Ohio guy. He's going to be really, really, really special. Let's see if he can get the Kansas back into the top of the Big 12, though. He can shoot it, score at all levels, good size at that guard position. Some have a number 1 draft pick over AJ. We're going to see. I don't know. I like Michael Brown Jr. at Louisville. He's a very, very talented guard. Seen him play at U19 this past summer. Could shoot the ball off the dribble pretty well, come off screens, come downhill, very athletic, plays defense. I think him and Pat Kelsey are going to cook down in Louisville in the Cardinals. I think it's going to be real, real, real good out there. So shout out to Michael Brown and Pat Kelsey. We'll see how that rolls with Ryan Cromwell, a veteran guard from Xavier. So let's see. So look out for the name. Michael Brown could be a top 5 pick. Another freshman I want to go to is Koa P. I think Koa P is going to be the Big 12 freshman of the year down in Arizona, Tucson for Tommy Lloyd. Maybe he could give him Arizona's first Final Four appearance in years to come. We don't know, but he has that type of talent. So that's one thing I like about Koa P. I like his face-up game, his athleticism, size, kind of like another variation of Boozer. We'll get into Cam Boozer at Duke. But I think Koa Pete, he has a lot of high upside, and a lot of people not talking about him. I feel like going to Arizona, he's gonna get his shine off out there in Tucson. Next freshman, I'm gonna go with AJ DeBonsi. You know what? Box office, BYU. We're gonna see what he's about, though. If he can play some team basketball, they got him top 10 in the nation. We're gonna see if he can gel with Ronnie Saunders and Coach Kevin Young. He got Igor, got Rob Wright. So Igor, he was a top 10 draft pick last year. So I know AJ is gonna do pretty well. Kevin Young, he can coach ball, and that pace of play is perfect for young players like AJ and Rob Wright from Baylor last year. So that's gonna be real interesting. My other freshman I like is also Chris Scenic at Houston. I talked about earlier. They have size. I think he's going to bring Houston over the hump this year in March. Hopefully, they can win it all. We'll see. We'll see about that. Another freshman I like is Dame Sarr from Duke. Oh my goodness, that boy can hoop. Italy played for Real Madrid, Barcelona, one of the two, one of them Spain teams. But the guy can hoop. I see him at where did I see him play at? I seen him play at Nike Hoop Summit. Oh my gosh, that man was jumping off my screen, dunking, slashing through the hole, athleticism off the charts. Hey man, don't sleep on him. He could be a top 5 draft pick too. I know I'm saying a lot of top 5, but that's how wide open it is. They keep changing number 1. Then you got Tennessee. They admit they saying they just ranked him number 1 in the nation. I'm getting a little tongue tied. That's how fast I'm going. I feel I'm getting animated because it's college basketball. It's a month away. Stay tuned for more content. But anyways, I think he can bring Tennessee to their first round of 4 appearances in years. We never seen it happen in Tennessee in the Rick Barnes era. But let's see. He could be the predecessor to KD before Rick Barnes retires. Who knows? He has same or similar skill set, and Rick Barnes wants to give him the keys. So we'll see how that goes. Another freshman I want people to talk about is the guy at Baylor. I can't really pronounce his name. I get his name though, but that guy, he was the all-time leader scorer in California with over 3,000 points. That guy got some Anthony Edwards in his game. Man, he can hoop. The freshman at Baylor. Stay tuned for him. So let's go to rising coaches. Go to the coaches side. For my rising coaches, I like Tony Skilm at Jordan Mason. He played pretty. He had a real great second year season, good first year season, won 20 games back to back years. Played at George Mason for Jim Larinaga in the Final Four run 20 years ago in '06. But I think he's going to be really well. He got Keyshawn Hall, pretty good to UCF. Now he's at Auburn, so you can see the type of coach he is as far as development wise. He did really good and won the share of the A10, and that's pretty. It's hard to win in that 1B league. Could have went to the tournament, but now you got to schedule the conferences. You got to schedule a hard non-conference. Can't schedule soft. I ain't saying you got to get too hard like Memphis did last year, but you see how I did. It prepared them to get in the tournament. Win or losing in that conference tournament, you got a strong non-conference. You will do some good as far as coming to March. Even if you win or lose some games, hey, you played a tough strength of schedule rather than playing a soft schedule and not making a tournament. I didn't make it. You didn't schedule right. You scheduled too soft. Stop scheduling soft, coaches. And next, other more rising coaches is Andy Toole or Robert Morris. Andy Toole turned it around these last couple years, man. Hey, they had him. They were saying he's this, and that. He was kind of in the bottom barrel in the Horizon League. Now he's on the top of the mountain in the Horizon League. He's on top of the horizon. We're gonna say top of the beans. But yeah, man, Robert Morris though, they turned around, seen him practice this past Saturday. Shout out to Coach Toole for the invite. I think he's one of the rising coaches. He got his groove back, got a swag back, he got his intensity, he got good guard play. I feel like he's a hell of a coach. He got 2 Power 5 bigs last year, one at USC, Marion Dickerson, and one at Iowa, 2 Big Ten bigs. So he knows what he's doing as far as recruiting and finding hidden gem talent. So shout out to Andy Toole, Robert Morris. Next, I got another coach, Jared Calhoun. He did amazing works at Utah State his first year. He did amazing works at Youngstown State. Youngstown State was a doormat in the Rising. Now they are a perennial 20-win team now at Youngstown State. Never seen it before, but now he's doing his thing at Utah State, keeping that thing charming. Utah State is like the West Coast VCU. They just keep getting coaching jobs. Hey, you see Rod over at Virginia. Now you got Jared Calhoun killing it. Danny Sprinkle, he's at Washington. So like I said, Utah State, it's a good stepping stone job for coaches that want to get that big dog, but still not Power 5. But hey, Utah State, they're making some noise. Shout out to Jordan Love. Them Packers, not a Packers fan, but they know he went there. Next, I got Travis Steele, former Xavier coach, now Miami, Ohio. Hey, even though he lost the big bro in the MAC tournament, he had a hell of a season at Miami. Miami hadn't been that good in years since Robbie Zerviak played. Maybe Kenny Hayes. Shout out to Kenny Hayes, Dayton legend, Miami, Ohio legend. But Travis Steele, yeah, Cam Crabbe, Reese Potter, they all went to one. Cam Potter went to Georgia Tech. I mean, Cam Crabbe went to Georgia Tech. Reese Potter went to Kentucky. So that's just tell you the type of talent he had. So let's see. Yeah, Travis Steele. Let's see what he does in the MAC this year. You know, the MAC got Kent State, you got Akron, you got UMass here now. So there's gonna be a lot of interesting storylines in the MAC though. Shout out to MAC Action. Akron zip along. Next, I got Daniel Robinson, the new head coach at North Texas, replacing Ross Hodge that went to West Virginia this past spring. Daniel Robinson was a Cleveland State coach, former Iowa State coach. He did a wonderful job at Cleveland State, following Dennis Gates, who's at Missouri now. So, you know, now he's following that trend, Cleveland State, one of those schools, like I said, at UVCU, Utah State. Getting coaches a lot of good jobs. You do well there, you get a good job. So shout out to Daniel Robinson. See how he does in North Texas. Maybe get a bigger job, bigger gig now. Hey, bigger platform. Keep moving, keep winning. Then we have David Riley, Washington State, was the former Eastern Washington coach. Did a good job at Washington State. Shout out to Coach Pedro on the staff. But he had a first round lottery draft pick, former Division III player, Cedric Cowell. It don't get better than that, man. So it sounds like he know how to find hidden gem talent. So shout out to coach, all those coaches, Riley, Robinson, Steele, Calhoun, Andy Toole, and Skim. Them are my rising coaches for this year. Now let's get to impact transfers. All right, first list of my impact transfers is Bennett Sturts, former D2. Now I played at Drake last season, led Drake to the NCAA tournament. Now he's at Iowa. Let's see how Bennett Starks does in Iowa. Hopefully this gives him to some more first round, high second round draft stock options going to Iowa now. He's a solid guard, big guard, point guard, play like Lonzo Ball, Josh Giddey type of player that can shoot, make plays, passing, high IQ guard. Let's see how he does this senior at Iowa. Second on my list, Donovan Dent. Averaged over 20 points at New Mexico under Rich Pitino, new Xavier coach. Now he's at UCLA. A lot of people saying UCLA. Him and Xavier Booker can get the UCLA back to the Final Four like they did 5 years ago during the COVID season. So let's see how that goes, man. Shout out to Donovan Dent. Third on my list, Keyshawn Hall at Auburn, former UCF Ohio guy. He's a bucket getter. I know Bruce Pearl just retired. Let's see how he still goes under Stephen Pearl and Tye Pettiford. So that's a big time ISO player, like a baby Melo. Lost a lot of weight over the past couple years in his college career. I have expected some big things from him in the Auburn Tigers. Next is Darian Williams out of NC State, former Texas State player, had a hell of a year last year as a junior. Now he's playing with Will Wade in ACC. A lot of people got me a lot of rip for not putting my top 5. Let's see how he does coming from Big 12 to the ACC. ACC was kind of weak last year, but we'll see though, man. Darian Williams, he played big time in the tournament next to JT Toppin and Christian Anderson, so they're going to miss him a lot. Next on my list is Xavier Lee, Florida. Talked to him about earlier with the top 5 predictions with Florida. Xavier Lee he's gonna bring some major wonders to the Florida Gators and Boogie Flan. So let's see how that operates as far as him and Boogie Flan playing off each other. They got bigs down low, so he could play off too as well. So shout out to Xavier Lee. Next on my list, Ryan Carroll at Louisville. Played at Xavier last year. He's a true bucket getter. Gets downhill, Indiana guy, Midwest player playing at Louisville. So let's see how he plays with Michael Brown and the other shooters, Christian Porter. So Kelsey, high energy guy. I think Ron Carwell can get him over the hump to like a deep tournament run next year. Also on my list, I got Nigel Pack, former Miami guard. Now he's playing at Oklahoma. Went to the Final Four with Miami a couple years ago. So Nigel Pack, he's going to bring some good flair to Porter Moses in Oklahoma down there in Norman. Next, I got the big Reed Bailey, Indiana. I think he's going to be a big pickup for Coach DeVers. And the Hoosiers, you know, he's a big that can shoot, good size, high academic kid too as well. So, you know, he has high IQ. And also, I'm going to throw in there his teammate, Lamar Wilkerson. Standout guy at Southern Houston State, just donated $600K to his former school. That's just a strong character guy right there. So, like I said, shout out to him, though. More content and more coaches and players and storylines coming throughout this year. Stay tuned next year. We're going to get some more mid-major love. Going to have a Big East episode. We'll have an ACC episode, 8-10, hell, Sun Belt, MEAC. It don't matter, man. We cover it all, man. Cloud Hoops, Cloud9 Talk. Like, share, subscribe. Love y'all.